Oh my god. Oh, no way. What the fuck? Oh my god. How did I not see these? Oh my gosh. It looks like I forgot about a whole massive bag of daffodil bulbs, 20 kilos of them. I thought I'd got all of my spring bulbs out way before Christmas. Looks like there's a bit of a change of plan on today's plot visit. I was going to do a little walkabout tour for December, just to show you how the plot's looking this month. Lots of things have died back, everything's died back now, and it's looking very, very bare. And I was going to chop some things back and watch some beds, but I think now I have to tackle 20 kilos of daffodil bulbs that are already starting to sprout. Can you see? Oh my gosh, I can't believe that. So first off, actually, I want to show you this teasel. First off, I want to show you what I walked into when I first got to the plot. So I was a little bit sad when I first walked in because I haven't been here for around a week or so because the rain's just been so bad. So the first thing I walked into wasn't very nice. So can you see up here, all of my chimney has all broken. It means that I'm going to have to do this project over winter because I'm going to want my fireplace while it's cold, and when it's snowy, that's the best time to have it on. So that's a project I'm going to need to do this winter. So can you see on the floor here, all of my chimney pieces are just broken and laid down, and what's happened is the hedge has been trimmed, and I'm really grateful for it because it needed doing really badly, and it's great that it got done before the spring season. So I'm stoked that it did get cut, but what's happened is the strimmer has kind of come along, so they come along in like a big truck, and the strimmer has come along the top and knocked over, well, it looks like it's knocked over the concrete chimney, and it's smashed onto the floor. And it looks like they did notice because they've stopped strimming, and I've got one big piece left just next to the chimney, so they've hit it and then stopped strimming. So it's a little bit annoying that I've got another project to do over winter, but that is allotment life. Things pop up when you least expect it. What's also a tad annoying is that I forgot about all of those daffodils in the polytunnel, so that's a job that I was thinking about getting done today. But it's really starting to come down now, and the ground is starting to get a little bit sodden again, so it's not the best time to be digging up the soil and planting bulbs. So I'm going to leave that maybe another week, so it is getting a little bit late in the season. But I mean, last year I planted out a lot of my bulbs at the end of January, so I've still got some time. They still sprung up perfectly fine. That is a couple of jobs that I need to get done, preferably in the next week or so, but we'll see how that goes. But I'm just walking to the back of my plot just to give you a bit of an overview of what it's all looking like at the minute. It's all a little bit bare, but you can kind of see what you're working with at this time of year. So you can see that everything has proper died back now. All of the shrubs have all lost their leaves, and you can actually see that pond now. It's been hidden for much of the year, and I'm really hoping to try and get that sorted this year. But I mean, the list is getting quite long on the allotment job forefront, so we'll just see how I get on. All of the fruit trees seem to be perfectly fine after that storm, and I'm stoked that these little supports that I made worked. And I planted these back in last February, I think. They all seem to be doing alright. This big honeysuckle over here next to my compost bin, I'm really wanting to get this dug up and moved because it's in a bit of a awkward spot now, and I'd love to train it all along that fence at the back. So maybe that's a job that I can do now that it's starting to be dormant. Although saying that, oh my gosh, it's already starting to sprout. Looks like something's been enjoying my squash in here. Only a couple of little ones, most of them are at home, so it's not too much of a loss. But in these little beds here, these little wood chip beds are some, what are these ones? Wood bluets. So I just had a little look and it's taken quite well. That one's wood bluet. This one's king oyster mushroom. Let's have a look. It's not been too long. See a few little mycelial strands in there. And then down here is a wavy cap one. So we'll see how these turn out. This little greenhouse thingy. So I planted quite a few sweet peas from the, when was it? It says here on the 13th of November. I planted these and they've all started to come up now. I'm hoping that they don't get too leggy from the lack of sunlight. And I also planted some cornflowers as well, and these were doing really quite well, but it looks like here that something's come and nibbled the tops off most of them, so I'm not sure if I'm going to get any cornflowers, which is annoying. But I have got some sweet peas being protected in these little plastic containers as well that I just got from a nursery, recycled. But yeah, I'm hoping that I do get a few little cornflower plants out of that. But I need to remember to shut it because otherwise more critters will try to steal my seedlings. These beds have all had a really good mulch along here, and I'm just letting all of this organic matter kind of drop down and settle. It was much higher and it's all started to drop and settle down and rot down now. And these little garlics at the back as well are all coming up. Again, I don't really remember planting these. I'm thinking what I might have done is planted them too late last year and they've just started to come up now. I'm not sure, I can't remember, but I don't remember planting these garlic. And it's not a full bed, so I'm not sure what happened there. One of the mysteries of Danny's allotment. These trees that I planted recently with very, very little support have actually surprisingly not come out the ground, and I'm really stoked with that. Bramley apple. This is going to be quite a big tree, so I think I'm also going to have to cut down some of this elder behind it just to allow that a bit more room when it does start to grow, but it's okay for now. This cherry here needs some of the lower branches removing so the canopy can kind of come up a little bit, and that will provide a little bit more light as well, and perhaps stop also the squirrels having such easy access across over to my larch tree. I want to try and break a little bit of the barrier for the squirrel run, because they do just kind of use it as a little bit of an aerobatics, I don't know what the word is. Aerogymnastics, parkour. They use it as like a parkour run basically to come and steal all of my food. So I do want to try and break their chain a little bit. It's actually turned out to be quite a lovely evening when the rain does stop for those brief moments. Right, well I'm hiding out in the shed waiting for the rain to stop because it wasn't forecast rain today, so I'm hoping it does stop. It was really nice this morning and I'm kind of bummed I didn't get up and get out earlier, but it's just been a lazy few days, isn't it? It's that time of year. So I've got on my little umbrella hat, and I got this after seeing Dan from Freedom Forest Life in his YouTube video a couple of years ago, and I just thought it was awesome and I had to get one. So I've had this for quite a while now, and it comes out whenever it's raining on the allotment or whenever I'm foraging in bad weather. It's not going to stop, so I think we've just got to bear the rain, and I'm just going to give you a little bit of an overview of the first plot. We've just had a look at the second plot, but the first plot is it's just as bare really. There's not too much to see, but I'm going to walk you up through to the end to my mini ramp and you can kind of see what's going on. Lots of these trees are going to get chopped down and reduced this year. My pear tree doesn't give me very many fruits at all, and it's getting a little bit hard to even harvest anything from the top now, so I'm going to proper bring it down and see if I can open up the crown a little bit, and maybe the same with a couple of these cherry trees as well. So I'm just at my mini ramp. It is looking worse for wear, and I'm definitely going to need to resurface that this year. My fence at the back still hasn't been fixed. I need to get Chris down here. It's really hard to drag him down, even I don't want to come down in this weather, so I don't blame him, but I really need some help with this. So all of this fence is still pretty fucked at the back, but the kitchen is same old, same old. I think next year I'm going to be putting a back on that kitchen just so it has a little bit more windbreak at the back when I'm cooking. I need to be really careful on this skate ramp because it is slippery. So I've got this little bed at the back. I think definitely, oh hello little one. Hi. All of your mealworms are down in a little pile in the next plot. And I know you've seen them because they've gone down pretty quickly. Did you have a nice Christmas? Yeah? It's your time of year, isn't it? On all of the Christmas cards. You know, cute little thing. But yeah, this bed at the back here, I'm definitely going to plant lots of herbs, rosemary, lavender and stuff this year because every year it kind of just gets a bit overrun and all of the plants don't do very well being at the back of my skate ramp. They get skateboards flying into them all the time, so I think some hardy shrubs like rosemary and lavender, and then when I do have to drag my skateboard out of it, at least it'll smell nice. So the orchard is just here next to the skate ramp, and yeah, lots of these trees are going to be reduced just so they're at a bit more of a manageable harvesting size for me. And also they shade out quite a lot of light being that tall. There's no use for them to be all the way up there, so lots of these are going to be cut back this year. There is some blue sky over here, but it's still raining on my head, so I really want this cloud above me to go away. So along here, this is kind of a bit of a junk strip. I've got a few beds. There's a big cast iron tub there. I don't know if it's cast iron, I don't know what it is. Some sort of tub, metal tub. And then I've got a big raised bed as well. So I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with this little spot here. But I'm thinking about moving my hotbed over here and using this kind of raised bed here as my hotbed to get going this winter. And then it can give me a bit of a head start on my seed germination. Look at all of these buds. All of the buds on the cherry trees are all starting to come through. And then along this little strip behind me is my brassicas, and they're all pretty much done now. All of this bed along here is now pretty empty, and I've got a few little bits underneath the fleece over there. They're just going to stay covered up until spring to give me a few cabbages for an early harvest. My herb sparrow is actually looking alright. I didn't give it a trim, but nature seems to have done its job for me. Everything looks like it's died back in the couple of hard frosts that we have. Let me show you. So I still need to move this big old foxglove, but the lavender and rosemary here are looking quite nice, and the curry plant as well. So that is looking a lot neater, but it still needs a good old chop. This sorrel all needs chopping back. I love this little corkscrew pond plant that I've got. That is pretty cool, little corkscrews. And the pond down here, all of my ponds actually need a good sort out over winter. They all got pretty neglected over the over this whole year actually. It looks like the birds are munching their way through all of these seed heads, these echinop seed heads. That's why I love to leave them. That looks like an echinacea flower, doesn't it? I leave all of my plants until all the seed heads have been munched, and then I can feel okay to chop them back and mulch my beds with them. Let me spin you around. Oh, down here. The rhubarb, what are you doing? Sprouting early. There's a few little shoots here. And over there. Hello. Some early rhubarb coming through. I forget to take you over here. This is my stumpery at the back. And stumpery is just kind of like a log habitat for various wildlife, and it needs topping up because lots of these stumps are really starting to degrade now and decompose. So lots of the little ornaments have blown down in my mum's bed, and loads of plant pots have blown into it. Poor little cows on his side. Chickens are looking a bit worse for wear down there. I need to get all of this bed chopped down now and sorted out because all of the birds have had their way with the seed heads, and all of the bigger foliage stalks and stems have all kind of collapsed on themselves. All of this St John's wort can get chopped back, and the strawberry beds along here, gosh, I really can't wait to get this sorted. It needs a proper good sort. I'm just going to take out all of the plants. I mean, I said it last year, but I ended up weeding around them. But I am going to dig up all the plants and just really condition this soil. And I don't know, I might move the strawberries, or I might just make this bed a lot better. But I think I'm going to take up some of these runners as well and plant them in plant pots inside the greenhouse, and then get a bit of an earlier crop on some of these strawberries, because I think some of them are going to be late if I start messing around with the bed over the next month or so. They really should have been done in autumn time, really. But we can only do what we can do. All of the garlic in the bed just behind it is all starting to pop up now. These ones were just strays. I actually planted my garlic on solstice, so yeah, these ones are all kind of just stray ones that have come up from last year, but I've just left them. I might split some of them just so they have a bit more room, because there's a couple of little clusters there. Yeah, that is how the plot's looking. So I still haven't moved my polytunnel, and I'm so glad that I didn't, because I would have unpinned it and not pinned it down properly, because that's what I'm like, and it would have blown away in these mental storms that we've just been having. So I'm really glad that the previous owner has secured that enough that it means that it can withstand anything. So it's been there for years and years and years, probably about 7 years, I reckon, 7 or 8 years. I've been on the plot for 6 years now. The guy before me, he had the plot for around 10 years, so God knows how long it's been standing, but it's weathering okay actually, and I've got no reason to really change it at the moment. I'm just going to be moving it eventually into this plot here, so it has a little bit more light, and I might cut down some of these lower hanging larch branches as well, just to let a little bit more light in. But yeah, that's going to be a job for my mate Winners, hopefully. Gonna get him up the tree. And also this big old pear tree as well behind me, that needs chopping back just to let a bit more light in. So that is how my 2 plots are looking at the moment, and it's alright for winter. It's very messy after the storms, everything's kind of blown about, but other than that it's all looking alright. So I'm hoping that in a couple of months I can really get cracking with this allotment, because I'm working on a special project at the minute that I'm hoping I can share with you soon, but all of my time and energy is kind of spent on that at the moment. And as soon as that is out of the way, I can hopefully spend a little bit more time down here and get it all sorted just in time for spring. So fingers crossed for that. So there is a sunset behind me, but you can probably hear the rain. It's proper coming down, so I'm going to get my stuff together and pack up, I think. But I hope you had a lovely solstice and a blessed Yule and a very Merry Christmas, however you celebrate it, and wishing you all the best for 2024. That sunset is beautiful. Winter sunsets, I think, top summer sunsets.